because I have a lot of love and respect for natives. And then I replied, I have a lot of respect for the mentally challenged as well, so we're even. Three, two, one. How is everybody doing? I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. Tis I, the Native Patriot. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I wanted to make a video of me just kind of picking a couple of handful of comments from my last video, which is me reacting to anti-ICE protests, and just kind of share some of them because some of them are kind of funny, some of them are predictable, I should say. I definitely triggered a lot of people in that video, which is fine because I feel what I said was pretty tame, to be honest, in that video. I don't think that I really said anything that was necessarily rude or uncalled for. They were just my honest thoughts and stuff. If you're gonna say something rude in my comments or something like incendiary or whatever, just know that I'm gonna match your same energy and I'm gonna say something rude back to you. So yeah, just know that. But I also want to clear up some things for those that may not have necessarily gotten the message, and this also might be preaching to the choir, but I feel it's worth saying anyways. I have this whole thing kind of typed out or written out. When I discuss the people in my comments and stuff, I'm specifically talking about the anti-ICE people, and I'm not talking about Mexicans as a whole. I know there are plenty of pro-America Mexicans who are here illegally, and I'm not talking about them in this video nor the previous video. I'm talking about the people in my comments of that last video who claim to be proud Mexicans who are part of the anti-ICE protests or agree with those sentiments. Pro-America does not mean anti-Mexican or anti-Mexican heritage. Pro-America means understanding that the US has borders and can and will enforce those laws, just like every other country on this planet. Having pride in your heritage is great, but what I'm specifically criticizing are people from other countries who are here illegally waving the country's flag they're from or have heritage from, while at the same time protesting the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Simply having pride in your heritage is not the same as disregarding the laws of the country you'd rather stay in. If these people are waving another country's flag that they're so proud to be from, why aren't they living there helping to make that country great again? I'm Native American myself, and despite what the brain-dead comments say about me, even though they know absolutely nothing about me, I'm proud to be of Navajo descent. Most Americans are fine with legal immigrants, especially those who love our country, who love the American flag, coming to achieve their dreams here. Even saying all of those stuff, which is pretty tame, which is pretty common sense. There might be some brain dead comments in this video as well, but getting on to the actual part of the video, I just wanted to start reacting to some of my comments in that last video. The first one says, "From the east to the west, even your land was stolen," which I replied, "From the east to the west, at least I'm an American citizen." The next wonderful, thought out, intellectual comment says, "You are certified coconut." And I replied, "I love coconuts, thanks, and you're a certified kumquat." So in this comment, the person basically said, my opinions are low and blah, 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 blah. So I replied, if my opinion is low, why are you in my comments? This person replied, because I'm perplexed by people so attached from reality and being so unaware of history and what history means. Your ancestors had their land stolen from them illegally to your ancestors, but legally to the United States. And yet here you are with these opinions. So I replied, what you're saying is that you live in an echo chamber and are used to people who think just like you and aren't used to someone with a different opinion. I can't relate, but thanks though. This person said, the purpose of they flagging the Mexico or other flags is to show the support of the immigrants who cannot voice their opinion due to their status. The majority of those people showing support are Americans. The flag should not dictate they need to return back to their country, but pride of where they came from. and where they want to go in the future. I hope this message helps you understand now. I replied, but wouldn't the ones protesting, as you said, for the illegals, wouldn't they want to fly the American flag for them? Since, you know, the illegals want to stay in America and not be deported to Mexico, wouldn't they want to fly the American flag and talk about how much they love America since they want to stay in America? Instead, some of them are burning the flag of the country they want to stay in while flying the flag they don't want to be deported to. I get having pride of where you're from, but the point is not where they're from. The point is where they want to stay, which is the US and not Mexico. I hope this message helps you understand now. This wonderful person said, open your eyes to all of the racists are coming out on social media against my people. You are feeding into that. I replied, I'm feeding into it. Did I tell your people to go out and burn the US flag? Did I tell them to go protest with the country's flag they refuse to go live in? The answer to all of that is no. And this wonderful person said, I guess we tests, I'm assuming that's whites, came from Europe to America legally to kill your tribe and steal your land. I replied, if you're referring to America as the United States didn't exist until the US Constitution was made, so there was no legally before the formation of the United States, which is where the border laws that we're talking about the United States border laws. The United States didn't start until the Constitution of the United States started. And may I suggest the library for some information on that? You usually can get a free library card too. Did the first European who killed your people came in a legal way? Did your mom drop you on your head? The answer is probably yes. Are you sure you're native? You're talking like a white man. If speaking like an eloquent, classy human is talking like a white man, then yes, I guess I'm talking like a white man and not someone who just woke up from a lobotomy. This whole comment is very long, so I'm just gonna kind of skim over it. Most of the protesters are high school students. They're only waving the Mexican flag, show support the Mexican community. Literally, white media is adding fuel to the hatred against the Mexican and Latino communities. There's several people who have been detained just because it's racism. News never talks about the millions of Ukrainians that came through the southern border, and Ukrainians live off government assistance in the U.S. outside of Ukrainian U.S. has the largest population of them, and also U.S. gave Ukraine billions of dollars into the state of Israel as well. But white media never shows that Trump and Elon also want to bring a massive immigration of white only to Africans to U.S. too. That was a mouthful. First of all, the ICE protesters are not waving the Ukrainian flag around. Why would we talk about the Ukrainians when they are not the ones making themselves known by protesting ICE with their flag? Do you read what you say before you post? This person is trying to deflect the ICE protests. They're not full of Ukrainian flags. They're full of Mexican flags. So I replied to this person's comment. They replied back, read my comment again and then answer your own question. You are ignorant, sir. I answered your question in my first comment and you don't have a flag, you are flying the white man's flag. I think it's because I said that my flag is US flag. I feel sorry for you because I have a lot of love and respect for natives. And then I replied, I have a lot of respect for the mentally challenged as well, so we're even. There's hundreds of comments in that video. There really wasn't like a comment that I feel was like, that's actually a good thing to think about, or I didn't consider that. It's just a lot of like comments of the same thing of how they're calling me ignorant. If these people are like rude to me, I'm rude back to them. And a lot of the time, some of them will be like, wow, you're so rude, you're so childish. And it's like, basically these types of people, they don't like to be treated the way that they go and treat other people. I think people aren't used to like getting a taste of their own medicine. This last comment I'm gonna read, I kind of went back and forth with this person. We had a little bit of a conversation, and some of the stuff I thought they were saying was kind of like BS. Like they were basically saying how they're a young illegal immigrant and how they used to be like a Trump supporter or something like that, and they used to be on the right, and now they saw the light and all this stuff. I can't validate this person's claims about what they're saying is actually true. If this person is an illegal immigrant, this person is saying that they feel like they're caught in the crossfires of whatever's going on, currently with all the deportations and all that stuff. So I replied to this person, I'm going to do something which I don't normally do, which is take some of your words on face value. I don't know you. I have no way to validate what you're actually saying is true. But for this one comment, I'm going to be genuine. You could be lying. I don't know. But if you are actually a young illegal immigrant, I still do have compassion. There are people who were brought here as kids who are illegal, and I can have sympathy for those people. But you cannot blame Americans for the backlash. You cannot blame ICE for doing their job. And as I said in the video, which the video I'm talking about is the illegal immigration video, I don't necessarily blame non-violent illegals, but they have to come illegally. The blame should be on the prior administrations of the United States who failed to secure the border time and time again. But you and others gotta understand that waving the Mexican flag while protesting ICE is only turning off those who had sympathy for some illegals. The ICE protests are not helping. If you want to have an actual genuine conversation, then leave out all of the BS you're saying about used to be a Trump supporter, because it's irrelevant and has no bearing on this conversation. If people feel they're being hated on, maybe people need to look at themselves and ask if what they're doing is incendiary or helpful. That's all I'm saying. But if you reply with some BS, I'm gonna regress to how I've been addressing you before. I'm being genuine for once, which I was, like I said. I can definitely have sympathy for people that were brought here illegally as children that know only nothing but the American way of life. For all intents and purposes, this is their home because this is what they grew up in. But like I said, these ICE protests, they're not helping those people. That earlier comment of somebody saying like, you know, they're waving the flag because they're trying to show solidarity and speak up for those who cannot speak up for themselves, which are illegals. They're actually doing such a disservice to those illegal immigrants that they're so-called speaking up for, because they're pushing away and they're turning off so many more Americans. If you go watch the news, like these deportations, they're so popular. These ICE protests, they're not helping. They're just pushing people away. And for people that had a little bit of sympathy for those types of illegal immigrants who came here as children, that this was not their fault, these ICE protesters, they're doing those people such a disservice by pushing away so many Americans because they're seeing like the entitlement and all of this craziness burning the American flag. And there's so many comments in that last video, but those are just some things that I wanted to react to. And yeah, hopefully this was a little fun. If you haven't followed me already on Instagram or X at The Native Patriot, follow me there, subscribe to this channel because I'm awesome, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.